Heard Turkey Alishik say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look, I'm 100% focused on this fight, and then we'll see.
How is Crawford, his composure, going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford. He's
the weight classes.
He's the most composed guy. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
I think Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence. So shows what I know. so I don't know. I think that's a lot of weight class jumping. We'll see. It's a good talking point. I don't know that would really happen. Or, I mean, listen, we've seen some strange things in boxing. Don't get me wrong, especially in the recent years. So I don't say never, but I don't know how seriously that's going to be taken. But I think when you're at a level, when you come off a big win like Crawford just did, anything you say.
When it comes to a potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, the debate sparks intense opinions. However, many believe that Alvarez holds a clear advantage in this matchup. As a four-division world champion and the undisputed king of the super middleweight division, Canelo brings a powerful mix of strength, experience, and elite-level competition that could overwhelm Crawford. While Crawford has recently showcased his dominance at welterweight, stepping up to face someone as physically imposing and battle-tested as Canelo at 168 pounds could present major challenges.
Official, but it may be a
Canelo's
done deal.
combination
Terence
of
Crawford,
explosive
Canelo
punching
Alvarez.
power, relentless pressure, and
thoughts?
superior experience in higher weight
look,
classes.
The first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Madridov, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the. What was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't.
Highly anticipated fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is set to take place in September 2025 during the Mexican Independence Day weekend. Canelo will put his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles on the line against Crawford, who is making a bold leap from welterweight to 168 pounds. Crawford, known for his incredible versatility and skill, faces a daunting challenge as he moves up in weight to take on Canelo, the undisputed champion.
He went on the ring with Teddy Atlas.
What's that mean?
He said you're the most overrated Mexican champion in history. He said that Salvador Sanchez.
Boxeador mexicano.
Más popular, pero sin causa.
Sí.
Fucking crazy, that guy. and you think he knows boxing? Fuck.
Canelo Alvarez's advantages in a potential fight with Terence Crawford go far beyond just his raw power. The Mexican superstar has spent years perfecting his craft against some of the most dangerous fighters across multiple weight classes, from Gennady Golovkin to Sergey Kovalev. His ability to adapt to different fighting styles combined with his granite chin makes him a nightmare.
Terence Crawford said that he moved up and won, and Canelo moved up and lost.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
I don't think that was a strong point because Canelo Alvarez actually moved up and won. I mean, he moved up a lot of weight classes, but if you want to talk about light heavyweight, he moved up and he beat Kovalev. Then he moved up again And he lost to Bivol. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he moves up to 154. He won 115, 113, but it was just an 11-0 Madrimov who didn't really have much of a resume, right? But there's a difference, to be real. I mean, Bivol is a Hall of Fame. Okay, this guy, all-time light heavyweight. It's a bit different. Canelo did knock out Kovalev when he did move up. Okay, and Kovalev is a bigger challenge at light heavyweight than Madrimov at 154 for Terence Crawford.
Canelo's success at super middleweight has clearly demonstrated his comfort and dominance at 168 pounds. His physical strength in the clinch, pinpoint body shots, and ability to cut off the ring make it incredibly difficult for smaller, quicker fighters to stick to their strategy. While Crawford's speed and technical brilliance are undeniably impressive, they may not be enough to overcome the size disadvantage. Competing at a weight where Canelo is naturally strong.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. Power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
When he fought Canelo, and he was like standing right in front of Canelo, and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight, when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs, and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Moreover, Canelo's vast experience in high-stakes bouts gives him a significant mental edge. He's no stranger to the pressure of massive fights, pay-per-view main events, and opponents with a wide range of styles, from slick boxers to heavy hitters. While Crawford remains undefeated, he has yet to face someone with Canelo's unique combination of skill, power, and ring IQ. Moving up 2 full weight classes to challenge a fighter of Alvarez's caliber could expose vulnerabilities Crawford has never encountered before. Yes, Crawford's dominance at welterweight is undeniable. His recent dismantling of Errol Spence Jr. cemented his legacy at 147 pounds. But stepping in against a natural super middleweight like Canelo is an entirely different challenge. Canelo has been trading punches with fighters who naturally carry more power and durability, and time and again, he has shown that he thrives in such environments. The gap in experience, size, and strength could very well be the deciding factors in this fight. Canelo's ability to wear down his opponents with calculated aggression and devastating bodywork could spell disaster for Crawford, who has never faced such a physically overwhelming challenge.
Crazy with Canelo. Oh, he's too big. He's a good night for Crawford. He's going to bed. All that stuff. Not so fast. Not so fast. Don't forget that the other guy is bringing something to the party too. And he's bringing the things that hopefully I just described to you guys in the best way I can. When it gets closer, we'll get more thorough with it. But right now, I think you know where I'm leaning. And I'll make it even clearer where I'm leaving. So there isn't a lot of suspense. I ain't going against Crawford, okay? I do think he's that special guy. I think Canelo's special too, but I think Crawford's special in a little bit, even more so. Even more so. He hasn't learned how to lose yet. I think he does have those special ingredients that go beyond the physical genetics, the physical DNA. So that's it, okay? Good. You don't like it? Too bad.
I think that was a fair breakdown. I mean, listen, those ingredients you're touching on with the smaller man are the same ingredients you saw in Usyk. Abilities and ways to find a way to win.
I'd like to know what the weight's at in this fight, but has that been figured out yet? Probably not, because
no.
That to me is a very...
The Atlas has weighed in on the challenges surrounding the weight factor in a potential Canelo versus Crawford showdown. He points out that Canelo may struggle to drop down to 160 pounds, a weight that would be ideal for Crawford. At this stage in his career, Atlas believes Canelo would be reluctant to make such a cut, especially given his current dominance at 168 pounds. Instead, Atlas speculates that the fight could happen at a catch weight, perhaps around 164 pounds. However, he also notes that Canelo might be hesitant to agree to such terms, as it could compromise the strength and comfort he's developed at super middleweight. Atlas emphasizes that weight is a...
How's it going? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stagefront VIP, being joined here with Teddy Atlas. Teddy, I got to get just right to it. Terence Crawford wanting to move up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. You as a trainer, what's your insight on that? And I don't know, would you advise a fighter to move up 3 weight classes to fight someone like Canelo?
You got to remember, he's already moved up 3 weight classes. So now you're talking 6, if you add on 3. You know? Yeah, my math is different than yours, being that I've been in this business my whole life. So 6 is a lot. 6 weight classes. That's a lot. 3, you know, he had the skeleton for it. Does he have the skeleton to go up 6? I don't know that he does, but I know he's got this. I know he's got this. I know he's got the character, and I know he's got the mind. I know he has special gifts.
When analyzing a potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, the most glaring factor that immediately stands out is the weight disparity. Canelo has been comfortably competing at 168 pounds, consistently dominating opponents who are naturally bigger and stronger. In contrast, Crawford has spent the majority of his career at lightweight, junior welterweight, and welterweight. While Crawford is undeniably skilled and powerful for his size, moving up to face a seasoned super middleweight champion like Canelo would require him to overcome a massive physical disadvantage.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody else. You got to show me that you can beat.
Former world champion Demetrius Andrade believes that while Terence Crawford is an exceptional fighter, Canelo's size and experience in higher weight classes give him a clear edge. Andrade predicts that Crawford could struggle with both the power and agility that Canelo brings to the ring. One of the biggest hurdles for Crawford would be moving up 2 full weight classes to challenge Canelo. Although Crawford recently moved up to 154 pounds and secured a decision victory over Israel Madrimov, jumping to super middleweight is a complete...
What Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, you know, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. You know, he's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just, you know, just like to, you know, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you know, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter.
Crawford is widely regarded as one of the most skilled fighters of this generation. His ability to switch stances seamlessly, his pinpoint accuracy, and his ring generalship have allowed him to dominate in every weight class he's competed in. His dismantling of Errol Spence Jr. was a masterclass in timing, precision, and adaptability. However, Stepping up to face Canelo would present challenges Crawford has never faced.
I mean, I can't really say nothing about that. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. Canelo is a man that he does anything he wants to do. I don't think really what people say affects him. But I feel like the people, they want to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. It's the biggest fight to make happen, and I feel like I'm the biggest threat to him.
Payday. I'm the face of boxing.
Crawford wanted a payday, but Crawford didn't do good at 54. When I talk to people, they all tell me you would have knocked him out at 68.
Well, he knows now. He experimented 154, and he knows. Maybe he do in 168 for a big check.
My last thing, Canelo, you just donated $70 million to build. You donated $70 million to build a center for kids with special needs in Mexico. Tell me about why did you do that?
I always try to help people.
Why?
And I don't like to respond this kind of thing because I don't like to put myself like I help. I help from the bottom of my heart.
It was very nice. Enrique,
Crawford's speed and timing are undoubtedly his greatest assets. However, facing a physically bigger and stronger opponent like Canelo could force him to fight more cautiously. Crawford has never encountered someone who can apply relentless pressure with such power, while also being defensively responsible. The added weight could also slow him down, diminishing the effectiveness of his...
I can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
You know, everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. You know, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him test himself up against the very best.
Canelo is widely regarded as one of the best body punchers in the sport. He systematically breaks down his opponents by targeting their midsection, leaving them more vulnerable as the fight progresses. Crawford, who has never faced someone with Canelo's level of body attack, might struggle to maintain his movement and sharpness over the course of 12.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happens.
Your thoughts on the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford fight? Do you believe Crawford can successfully make the jump to super middleweight? Or will Canelo prove too dominant? Share your predictions and opinions in the comments below.
Friend, my brother, Terence Crawford, wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring. I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that anything can happen in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't count him out. You know what I'm saying?
Saul, my carnal, how are you? Quick question. I know. As we walk, Canelo, how important is it that you've spoke with Turki Al-Sheikh?
Say again, please.
How important for you is it that you've spoke to Turki Al-Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
Look, I like to work with everybody. I'm a free agent, and I like to work with everybody. And I like to have the doors open.
Are we going to see Canelo Crawford next?
We'll see. It's a possibility there always. No, we'll see what happens.
Have you spoke with Turki about that show?
Yeah,
about Canelo?
We know each other. We don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but we now know each other, and we'll see what happens.
Last one. I know you're pushed for time. Benavidez Morel, who wins?